Got it. All right, so welcome to our Millinocket age-friendly meeting, right, on January 17th. I'm going to start off like we usually do. Let's do some introductions around the room. Got some new faces, and so I always like for everybody to know each other. I am going to start on the Zoom screen. Jonathan, you're right up there at the top, so I'm going to start with you.
I'm John Cody, Assistant Chief for the Town of Millinocket Fire Department.
Thank you, John. Barb. Barbara, can you hear us?
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Barbara, AmeriCorps project coordinator with the stationed at the Millinocket Library.
Perfect. Peter, you're still there. You get a chance to chime in.
I'm Peter Jameson. I am the town manager here in Millinocket.
Thank you. Our Zoom user, Bob. Oh, we don't have volume for you.
How about now?
Yes.
Yep.
Bob Higgins, Town Councilor.
Thank you, Bob, for joining remotely, right? Brittany.
Brittany Gruder, Grants Coordinator for Thrive Penobscot.
I'm going to go here to Nicole.
Nicole Brennan, Partnerships and Programs Coordinator for Millinocket Memorial Library, and I'm also part of Age-Friendly Millinocket.
Andrew Caruso, Eastern Area Agency on Aging in the Meals on Wheels program.
I'm Sarah Jandro, an AmeriCorps member working for Age-Friendly Millinocket as a project organizer.
Robin Stevens, Project Assistant for Thrive Penobscot.
Randy Jackson, member of the board of
Which board?
Boreal Theater and Breaking the Cycle, a recovery home here in Millinocket.
Louis Pelletier, Town Council of Millinocket. Tom Malcolm, Fire Chief Millinocket, Public Safety Officer.
People know me, Jane Danforth, Project Director for Thrive Penobscot.
And I'm Chelsea Garrett. I just moved here to Millinocket and I'm a stay-at-home mom right now.
Wonderful. Glad to have you. Yeah, welcome, Chelsea. And I know sometimes, the introductions make it easier for Brittany, who, when she types up the meeting minutes, we capture everybody. So she appreciates it. I appreciate it as well. So I was able to send out, albeit like last minute or just this afternoon, a copy of what looks like our action plan that was submitted in April. But it's really, Brittany went ahead and pulled all the activities that we said we were going to do in 2022. I'll have Brittany, if you want to go ahead and pull that up. I'm not going to go line by line, and I'm sorry, I have like one other hard copy to look at. But I'm not going to go line by line. But I've already asked people that have worked on different things. You'll see it to give me some progress notes. In a nutshell, this is just from April to December of this year. And in the end, I say in the end, this is we created ourselves a 5-year plan, 3-year plan, 5-year plan.
5 years.
5-year plan. We are going to owe AARP age a progress report. And so I'm going to have it nice and neat. I want to have everything, up to date. So this is just going to show the progress. Some things are done and continuing. You can see I have my own little icons, begun but not done. So some things are in progress and the next steps. And so some great work. We see, like I said, I don't think we need to go over it line by line. I've given it to you and I want you guys all to see. There's
Cover the ones we're not doing.
yeah, so there's a lot of work that's being done. So Brittany, you can go on the next page. Like I said, this is a draft. I don't have it all in. You can see some red font I need to fill in. Got notes, some additional data that I want to be able to fill in there. And Tom, we have the sand bucket for safety program in there. That is ongoing. I'll get some more data for you. From you, I just like to fill it in. I know that's grown over the years and we want to be able to capture that. And where we get the partners that are involved, and we've got donations and that sort of thing, trying to capture all the collaborative networks that are involved in this, because no one entity can do it by themselves, right? And so it really goes up to the those are still just all progress notes. A lot of the stuff is ongoing. And so on the next page, like Brittany, that we'll see, and this is actions to reevaluate. And some of them is because we said that we were going to start them in 2022, and we did not get to them all. Can everybody see that, or they've got it in the front of them? And so I just want to check in and see, how folks feel about it. Is that still really important? Some of them, there's one thing on there, I wrote retire. I'm thinking, okay, and I'll get to that one. But so what did not happen in the fall was to reestablish the Food Council. That's been sitting like, it's been on my mind a lot. And I've actually had some people reach out to me, oh, I missed those meetings. So I still think that's really important to do. And I think I need to reconvene that. We will just have to reestablish the timeline. And so food insecurity does not go away. There's different ways that we need to deal with it and different strategies to employ around that, but we need to bring people to the table. So I'm going to leave that on there. One of the other things, develop a plan to promote the services of Mobilize Katahdin throughout the Penobscot eastern area. We keep talking about, okay, mostly we just push things out through social media. Still going to continue to work on that. If anybody else has any other strategies. Sort of says in progress, ongoing. Right. The other things, these are really communication ones. Assign responsibility for oversight of the age-friendly page on the town website to ensure accuracy rate and access of information. Basically, at this point, I'm sending things to Design Lab to post whenever we have like our meetings and our meeting minutes and certain documents. I'm not sure that we need any other oversight of that. I guess it's just a staff. We need to every once in a while check in, see if we see something that's outdated. I guess it probably just is internal. So I'm not sure. Do you think that needs to be actually in print there, that we just do it anyway? Or does this help us keep us accountable or not? What do you think?
What happens if there is not responsible? Like, is there someone now who's doing it that would continue, or is it might just fall by the wayside?
Well, currently it's me that sends things, but I have a dual role as as the chair of the committee, and because I'm on the council as well, it's kind of helpful. I have that link, but at some point we'll have to think about as my role as this, its chair changes, somebody else. So I guess it could still be a placeholder. It can still be a placeholder in there. I'm not sure. I don't even know, Brittany, if you want to speak to this. Integrate the resources of age-friendly partners in one online location. There are other people that had ideas about that when we put it in the action plan. I'm not sure I can really speak to that. How that would happen.
I think this was something maybe that Diana had brought up. Just integrating everything into one place, just for a cleaner online footprint of where people can actually get to these resources. Whether that looks like a new website, or that's like a page on Thrive's website or the libraries, I don't know. I think it's still valuable, but I'm not a website person. So.
Yeah, it says begin summer of 2022. So that definitely, that timeline needs to change. Does it change to a 23? We can push that out there and can revisit that. I made a note to Diana. And again, this is another one, promote public meetings in multiple media venues to encourage participation. I think that's mostly been through social media. I know if I get the information to Diana like at the town office soon enough, she gets it on the calendar, like she sends stuff to the paper. So that's just going to be me getting things out a day or two sooner so that we could meet the deadline. So it's we can certainly want to continue that. This one that I wrote, just retire. I've heard that, I've seen that word in other progress notes, but collaborate with Mobilize Katahdin to promote transportation services to civic activities. Those of you that have been at this table before know with Mobilize, we just don't have the volunteer staff to do that, to be able to promote other than what the few clients they're currently serving. And there's question to whether, that particular service can continue, or we need to figure out something else.
Does anybody know anything about the van that I don't know anything about it? I was approached today about it. That peer-to-peer got.
Yeah. So
is that going to be to do rides?
they're gonna do rides. I'm not sure how open to the, I don't want to say public it is, but through their clients or those folks that are needing rides to and from, you know,
Medical care.
Okay.
medical care and their services and to their meetings and that sort of thing.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I imagine that would open it up a little bit. I was thinking about, sharing the rides with, bringing a cycle too, for those women that need rides. Could share some of that resource.
yeah, I know Ginger has reached out to Heidi at Breaking the Cycle so that they can
Good.
share rides and
Yeah.
stuff, but
Yeah.
I mean, certainly this is, it's a need, like we talked, we want our residents to be able to vote, and we want to figure out what to do, but I don't know, whether Mobilize could, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know. What do you think that I should do with this particular activity or strategy?
Well, I think that we should stay involved with it as it is a large need of the community, the transportation issue.
And
So-
who was running, I know that Shelley left. So do you think she should be at the table,
Yeah,
kind of talking about?
Is, she's really, today's her day off, or I think she would have been here. Yeah, she's trying to keep the current, patrons that she's serving. And but it's basically just her driving
Yeah.
right now, and it's too much, because she has a lot of other stuff on her plate, and so she can't open it up any more than it is right now. But I know that you have been having conversations with her and Diana regarding like how it's going to transform over the next year. So I think you're right that Laura would be a good voice.
So we gotta just figure out how to put this on pause, or maybe just reword it a little bit, but, it's still a
Yeah,
need, but we're still figuring it out, aren't we? Yeah.
Forming, I don't know.
Yeah.
like-
Well, it's still an action item that
Yeah.
they're working on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
we have to
Change
get, we have to figure it out.
And how about promoting, like getting volunteers? I mean, is it something out
So we'll-
there that says we're looking for volunteer drivers or,
I think we tried, but without being able to offer mileage, it's
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah.
a
Okay.
hardship on a lot of people. They would like to in some cases. It's the cost of it.
I know I've talked to Nicole a couple times looking for rides, and that's, there is no money. And,
Yeah.
and she said that we're not paying them, so. Correct.
So what's this?
Regarding Mobile's Cotton,
Yeah,
the transportation issue. We get a piece here with might, the liability insurance might attract some level.
it will. That's not included in the ARP for transportation services. As far as the ARP, what I just shared with you, this application, but yeah. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's not what now?
Yeah, it does not include, it already, there's a place in there that it does not cover. Volunteer
It's
trip.
only for this group kind of a thing.
No, transportation in general is one of the things that isn't on the table for this particular
The
coverage.
liability really.
Yeah, yeah. for
Isn't
this
that a
group
terrible
coverage.
thing?
Yeah,
Yes,
the only, I have this, and the only insurance that I ever know about, and it says it in here too, is like if I'm going somewhere to do something for ARP. And I get in an accident, they do have coverage for that. Like a death benefit.
Just trying to think about how we can.
yeah, so.
Spur the.
So I'm
transportation
just
piece.
thinking to get through this particular part of the meeting, like, so we're gonna leave this in the work plan. Yeah, I'll just leave it
Yeah,
in there,
right.
and I will change the date and to the discussion about the transportation. I think we're gonna have to have a meeting, we're gonna have to start our own task force specific to that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think,
well, the vehicle somewhat available, if we can. Use some gas money and then we can work it into our plans as part of it.
okay.
Something to think about.
Absolutely. And so the other thing, I know the next one was talked about is installing benches and all that stuff at Boreal Theater. That was initially a challenge grant that Barb went for. We didn't get, but you've done that work anyway. So I just said that's completed as
Yeah.
far as on our progress notes.
That's fine.
And I know that things are going on with, Pioneer Trails and OSI. So we really, that's, not time bound, it's like ongoing in progress. And we'll figure that out. So I highlighted this one, explore the formation of a Handy Neighbors, Handy Helper program. I think that's top. I'm just gonna say that, and I put it in red. top priority. We had hoped to start that in 2022. I need to change the date on that, but it's going to be my recommendation in 2023 that that's another task force that we start, because I'm hearing so much about the need for that. So if you don't have any objections, we'll
No,
just,
sounds
I'm gonna make that a priority for this year. And just as far as the lunch and learns, I heard those were just renamed.
Yeah, we kind of
information
went
hour.
away from it because they don't always fall at lunch hour, so.
Okay,
We decided to do an information hour, and we've got some programs lined up, just a couple again, mainly, Disability Rights of Maine coming, talking about hearing resources, was, so much information last time, they've asked to come back and do a second installment or repeat of that again. So we'll be having that, this next week. And, we also have some food security and things with University of Maine Cooperative Extension, and, also partnering with Wabanaki Public Health coming up on starting seeds, maybe probably in March. So that people want to start seeds for their gardening projects that will be coming. We'll start those. So those are things lined up right now.
so that actually, I probably should have had that, that step happened, and that probably could have gone into the progress notes, the prior section, instead of
Right,
like, oh, do we
right.
need to reevaluate?
Right.
So, and then the last one, Barbara has already responded to me about the fourth grade project, so I can update that.
Right.
So, Brittany, so the last page, upcoming actions, we actually put these in 2023. And it looks like, it was collaborate with the recreation department to improve ADA access to Jerry Pond. I think that's probably still a priority in all of our discussion. We just got to figure out what that looks like.
Mhm.
I don't know if that means going after funding, so that's still good. Tom, I was going to ask you, we had this in here to implement a falls prevention program. Where do you feel? Is that doable this year?
I think so, now that Meals on Wheels is opened up again, I think that's something that we can do, because we're pretty close to getting that started over there when everything went south on us. About doing it over there a couple of days a week.
Do you have an actual program already in progress?
I have a program, I'm an instructor.
You do, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, with our lifelong Maine AmeriCorps members, we have Pat Saunders in Blue Hill doing great trainings on matter of balance. And that's an Eastern Area Agency on Aging program. And she's happy to give information, she said, for people wanting to be an instructor or get some train the trainer type things, if someone, you know, in the future, should you want to do something different, or.
So as far as leaving that in there, as far as
Yes.
this check-in, we're gonna leave
Yes.
that in there and see what
Okay.
happens with that. And
Perfect.
so Andrews, you're shaking your head as far as the Eastern area and the collaboration.
I mean, we don't have a lot coming to the cafe right
Yeah.
now, but that's gonna be one of our big pushes in the next couple of months. Is
Okay.
to really promote the cafe and let people know that it's back going again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And if you're
So
looking for.
Brittany, will you just take that down off the screen? I want you to be able to see the group photo. I just, yeah, I can talk about the last two that are on there. Thank you, Brittany.
I was thinking too, my mom was just mentioning at Stearns Assisted Living, they just started this past week, kind of an exercise strengthening class, and I'm wondering if that could be incorporated with falls prevention with them there. I don't know. Yeah, they did last week. She's
News to me.
been
Because
attending.
I'm up
Yeah,
there.
anything that
Not
goes on.
today, tomorrow.
Yeah, she's been attending. She
Really?
called me just before I left and she said, oh, our class got moved today till 1 o'clock. I guess
Wonder
6
if that's
people,
something Penquist is doing for them.
I don't know. 6 people attending this today, she told me, so.
All right.
Is it?
I don't know. She just, I said, what
I
do you
know-
do? She said, well, it's just to help us make sure our balance is good and we're using little hand weights for strengthening and. I said, oh, great,
Not us.
okay, well,
Okay.
so it is,
Yeah,
anyway.
the Elks is doing that too, correct?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I saw
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And that's something that she was interested, but just getting over to the Elks without having
Right.
transportation.
Yep.
I think that's why I said, well, perfect timing. They've got someone that will do it right there on site for you. You know, why go to the Elks? Yeah,
So that's something else to find out so that we're all on the same page, and perhaps
Right.
collaborating.
Right.
and
right. Why
Making good use of resources.
replicate? Yeah.
Yeah,
Something that's already being done.
because at once upon a time when David Nelson was here, he did those classes over there
Yep.
and
Oh my
coach. Yep, yep. So, yeah, let's look.
Yeah,
at
and then
that.
Eastern area had a person that came and did it for a while.
Yes.
She's coming. once or twice a week for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, COVID really.
Yeah, oh, that, yeah, that, yeah.
For us, fortunately.
So the last two things that are on, formalize and promote a caller check-in program for those living alone. And that was slated for the spring of this year. Do you think? That's still, I mean, that's still a focus, or maybe something else to work on?
Is that something that has been partially in the works? I know you've said in the past that you have like some.
We have,
folks that you
we
call.
do it, but we don't.
So are you?
I've got
looking
one,
for-
I've got one person that is faithful to it, but, you
Yeah.
know.
So is that what you're looking for as volunteers, like some
Yeah.
coordinate volunteers?
No, people that want the service.
Like, oh, okay.
I mean, my guys do it. But
So do you think we should go with that model that we actually have folks that will call that's from your department that will
Yep.
call, so that the program runs through the fire EMS program? And that it's okay
think
for a
that's-
check-in call and
Yep.
replicate what we know other communities do it.
I think that's
Oh.
it's a great partnership for EMS or fire doing that, because they're a trusted source and people recognize voices and, you know,
Yeah, and
That's,
gives them familiarity in
Right.
case they have to show up, they know the
Right.
person or whatever.
right. I think that's a tremendous.
John, weigh in on that.
Yeah, is that great?
Yeah, so for sure, it's something, that I want to continue, using it. I know right now is, as Tom mentioned, we just have the one person who calls in the morning, but I know there's plenty more out there that could be calling in to do the check-in with us. So it's something, that's a national model right now that I'd like to see us, there continue, so.
We could do an outreach from Age Friendly to that community
Yep.
and see if we can pick up some more individuals that may want to partake in the service. People have gotten older.
Yeah. So John, are you saying that people call you or you
We-
call
the
them?
one-
I was just gonna ask.
The one we have right now calls us,
Okay.
Hey, just saying hi.
but he wanted to do that. He wanted to do it that. He'd
That
rather
way.
do it that way.
Yeah.
But he's like clockwork.
Should be
He'll call you
So
20 minutes after 6 every morning.
I've seen it done each way.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
But if you,
Oh.
we tried it the other way, but we never got anybody. And then he said, what if I call you? I don't care how it goes.
Yeah.
You call us, we call you, but if you don't call us, then we're gonna make a phone call.
Yeah.
And is it the 702, is it this non-emergency number, the
7026.
702? So you know what this is great, because in the past, we've thought we've needed to create this whole new volunteer pool of people that will actually do the calling.
Right.
And put it out there, but if we go with the model like
I
you
like to
said.
see it get so big, we had to do that.
Yeah,
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 That's a great idea.
let's focus that.
Think about what kind of
Get 'em up
advertising.
before.
Yes, so
Yeah. I think if you had something from EMS. An ad or some kind of thing in the paper
This is-
where it's saying, hey, we're here just to check in for your safety. I don't know how you want to
Get on
word
the
it.
list, yeah,
Is
Do
there-
we have the names for the Sand Bucket Patrol?
touch base with them.
Because they're, of that age and disabled or something, that might be a database to
place.
start with.
Yeah.
What about
I
the,
have a hard time to get them to call me to fill the sand buckets. They with themselves.
Yeah,
They don't wanna bother us.
yeah.
what about the group housing people?
Yep.
It'd be a lot of them would appreciate a call.
Yeah, so is there a name to other programs, a catchy name, like, that's more favorable and less stigmatizing, or just that, people would.
I usually know it as a friendly, their neighbor program.
Yeah,
Friendly caller, I don't know.
yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's work on that.
Yeah,
That's
Friendly
awesome.
Ears is another name, Friendly Ears.
Friendly ears. We might have to put it up to.
My ears are feeling very friendly right now.
Yeah, so good, there. Then the last one was talking about research and implement age-friendly business program. And we put that fully implemented by April of 2024, so. And this was like to foster more ADA access, so I think, yeah, I think we can keep that rate where it is and continuing to learn about programs and I know we're doing a lot now, just advocating for ADA access and stuff, so everywhere, so. So as far as priorities for 2023, obviously, we've got a lot of great things that are starting. We're gonna continue. Transportation. I really think we need that transportation piece as far as the task force and the handy helper. Whatever that's called. And now that we just talked about the friendly phone call and friendly.
Yeah.
and Yeah, I think those two,
Great.
really concentrate on getting those off the ground. and
Nope,
we're-
I think Barbara's. good.
Yeah, we'll turn it, Barbara.
I was just going to say, we have a grant in process for solar lighting on the walking path at Michaud Trail. We did get a small grant for improved signage, has to be improved by the town council. But they let us know they have an additional money available for, it's not a lot, it's not for everybody, but we're making an effort for it, for solar lighting. And Amber gave us some specs on that, so that's in process. So that's exciting.
Nice.
And so you've already taken us on to the next agenda item. No. The AARP challenge grant. Well, actually, you're talking about
It's a walking college.
you're
Yeah,
talking about the other grant that you
Right,
just did
right.
on our behalf. So how about if we take that conversation now into the challenge grant? We've got our
Okay.
priorities set up and we'll follow through. So
potentially, if there were no other contenders, Jane and I had talked about doing a challenge grant to help with farmers market expenses. And I would be consulting with Tom about what we need in terms of canopies or tables or other items. So what do people think about that idea of a small challenge grant for farmers market, which we hope will be opening around May 2023?
Could be the seed that starts to grow or physical location at some point.
The location's going to be Veterans Park, and that will get a town insurance, and it will be Saturdays from 9 to 12.
They got power and everything else.
And we have about 50 vendors who are potentially interested. And we're in the process, Nicole and I are working out an application form for vendors. And we'd like to establish some kind of work group to help out with planning for that. That's up to you guys and Jane. But the challenge grant opens up pretty soon and the deadline is March 15th.
yeah, it opened up this week, actually, Barbara.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but I just wondered if there were any other town efforts towards challenge grant that we should know about, or should we go ahead with that?
Yeah, and I would say, I don't know of any other ones. What had been brought forward before was, and that's why I kind of confused it a little bit, was the solar lights for the Michaud Trail, but Barbara has I don't want to say an option, but lead on another grant source to go for some solar lights, so that we pivoted to perhaps whatever funding we might need to make the farmers market, successful. And remember, that's how we started Snowdown with
Right.
challenge grant funds. So, more of the canopies, and like I was talking to Brittany in the office earlier, like I'll be thinking about expenses because we build a budget around that. And even maybe needing some sort of shed or something down there to put table things in that are, when we have events down there. Is it possible? I don't know what that would cost.
Well, that was gonna, that stuff is all fine, but where are we gonna put it? The town has that building down there, but we don't really get to use it.
Is it built in downtown?
Yeah.
Santa's house.
The
Oh.
council put that down there for events. That's what it was initially
Hmm.
gotten for.
So if it's not being used other than
Well,
Christmas time.
it's being used by the group that does that, so
For
we
what?
have to work that.
What do
out,
they use
you know.
it for?
They do
They
Santa's house.
they
in
store
there.
stuff in it.
Yeah.
Which is what we wanted to do. What our initial plan for that is so we could have tables and
Mhm.
canopies and stuff right there.
Right there.
So when we needed them for an event, we could just get them out. I mean, we have that building that we
Right.
acquired over on,
By the rec area.
yeah, but that building's not very big.
Yeah.
Pretty much filled it.
There's
And
some
then you gotta go get the canopies from there, bring them downtown. You gotta bring,
Storage.
Well, is there other things that, like we were talking expenses, is there anything that
Right.
comes to mind that? I've never done this before, so
I know.
there might be something that's so obvious that I'm just missing. So,
I mean, other than like for publicity, buying ad space and that sort of thing, or signage or tables. More canopies. I mean, we have some that we had purchased, you know, we've got the three.
We got three.
We got three, you know, more canopies. I'm
I
sure we can come up with a wish list, but
Yeah, I don't have all the details in my head, but I imagine some vendors will bring their own tables, but it would be nice to be able to say, if you don't have a table, you can either rent one from us or we can provide it, let us know. And we could maybe add a charge to that. We could talk about that. I would imagine we would need extra garbage facilities, and maybe do we need to pay for pickup at the end, refuse pickup, Tom, or?
Well, our last challenge grant, we've got four. I think 4 55-gallon
plastic ones on wheels.
plastic on wheels.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all stuff that, I mean, that doesn't mean we couldn't get more. I mean,
Right, right.
we bought 4 because that's what we had for monies to do it, like
Remaining,
canopies
yeah.
and stuff, but.
I think
know-
we need more than 3 canopies, and I don't imagine vendors would be bringing canopies, so.
Well, a lot, yeah, I've seen a lot of them that do. They have their own, the whole setup when they
Yeah,
come.
like a
Okay.
little
Right.
line,
Mhm.
yeah.
That, sorry,
Advertising.
sorry. Goodbye. You know, one of the things that I think about when you talk about us setting up, not me, but someone setting up those things, you know, manpower. And we don't have a lot of manpower. And the volunteer list is dwindled. So when I think of, you know, you're gonna give them tables, and you're gonna give them tents and canopies, and who's gonna set those up and who's gonna take those down? And
Exactly, yeah.
you know, the town can only do so much. I want you to think about that process.
Yeah,
I agree completely, and maybe after this meeting, I can circulate a memo where you could suggest items like that and maybe ballpark the cost of, you know, 5 people at $15 an hour for 45 minutes before and after, that kind of thing, for sure. Because
Well, then
volunteers, we don't want
that's all
volunteers
right.
lifting heavy equipment.
Put it up and put it down.
Yeah.
you mean to like pay a stipend or something? I mean, it would only be a gift card. I mean, we wouldn't be handing out
Yeah.
checks. It would have to be
Yeah.
There'll be
something.
a gift card.
If there's gift cards or something that we. can-
Okay, yeah.
To get start, you know, to get it started. We could think about that.
Mhm.
Maybe more of the portable benches or their seating, I don't know. Seating, I can see what you're saying about all those. You need manpower to put up those canopies and take them down, and if it rains on them and they're wet, put them away.
And
There's a lot.
Can we rethink the storage idea? Because the idea of if there is, you're talking about under the bandstand, where is the storage at Veterans Park right now? Is there any?
There's a
Little hut.
Stay in a
little
house.
house, but little shed that.
Okay,
bought from
and
think
there's
I
no
think
chance of us
we can-
using that for the farmer's market stuff?
I can't use it. That would be- that would be a
Okay.
question I have to talk to the town manager about.
Okay,
Let me follow up with him on that.
okay, because that would save a lot of hassle bringing tables and canopies.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, well, that was the idea. to
Okay,
have-
And what would the cost of anything not similar to that or any other kind of unit? Of course, these are down there, those are expensive, might need to be a different funding source.
is it worth thinking?
Oh,
I know in Upper New York State, a while ago, I had an Amish group build a small storage shed for me that was very nice looking. It looked like a little mini barn. Would it be, it wasn't that expensive. Would it be a possibility that we could have another structure there that would be just for the farmer's market?
Those
we
things
could-
are a couple $1,000s
yeah,
now.
they're expensive here.
Yeah.
That would be a I can't say, that would be a council, that would
But
have to be a
if-
council.
If we got funding for it and it was a nice looking little cottagey thing, potentially that would be advertising farmers market Saturdays, you know, it could be an asset and also advertising the market. If we got funding for it, would we get permission to put it there?
Again, that has to go, that would have to be a council decision.
Okay.
I can't make those kind of decisions.
Okay.
So Barbara, how about
So
if you
that-
do some homework and like, here's
Yeah.
what it would cost, knowing
Yep.
what the grant's gonna be like.
And
at five-
potentially it could be something, maybe even a tent or something prefab that could be broken down at the end of the summer. So it's just there from March to September. It's a thought, something to think about.
So throw some ideas out.
Yeah, and the other thing I was just thinking, Region 3 just built 4 of those last year. Yeah, last year for the school.
Uh-huh.
They build those all the
Okay.
time.
Well, the
Great.
other group to talk to would be up at Charleston Hill, the penitentiary. up
And they
there.
may, yeah, there's
They
a
did a
couple of,
lot for Jerry Pond when they did the picnic areas down there.
Yep.
It would be a fantastic way to promote the fair. People just driving by would say, oh, look, I mean, the farmer's market, it's going to be a farmer's market here, you know. It'd be a really cute little shed with the little flower boxes and stuff and maybe some information, an informational slot, you know, with flyers. Yeah, okay.
yeah, and we could use it for storage the rest of the year round.
Yeah, yeah. So somebody forward me the information, or Jane, the information about the company that makes the sheds. Yeah. That's exciting. I like that.
I can get you the information, I'll probably just
Region 3, yeah,
Region 3 information.
and Charleston,
Charleston,
Correctional.
The gentleman that
David
used to be
Shed
there.
is the instructor at Region 3.
Thank you.
Yeah, I talked to them about garden boxes last year. He said the request for things like that should be before the school year begins.
Right.
Because he does planning for his curricula throughout the year. So it may be too late for something this summer, but
That's good to know.
it would be something to ask him.
Yeah, I was gonna say Barbara might not know what Region 3 is.
But we're gonna be in. I mean, that's not gonna be something that we can do overnight. We're gonna have to find a grant to do it with.
Right.
But I mean, if we got on the radar for Region 3 or.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So the challenge grant, though, it's pretty quick turnaround, like, you know, we put the application in April, March or whatever, and they let you know, it's expected that the work is done by November.
Right.
It's supposed to be a quick turnaround, so we'll have to see timing wise, and so I'm thinking we'll probably just need a, through this email group, anybody that wants to chime in on the challenge grant in this particular, Barbara, you can just keep it with the age-friendly committee and those
Yep.
people that want to lend, information and ideas,
Was that $5,000?
yes,
We got, yeah.
yeah.
The range is 5 to 12 on challenge grants, I believe. Yeah.
Oh,
But we've heard through the grapevine that typically you're more apt to get something.
Yeah.
Five.
They
So
jumped on
5,000.
that, one, so that's why I wanted to,
Yeah,
because
Right.
it was small.
Right.
all right, so we will continue to brainstorm. We know that we have a short period of time to get the application together. But around the concept of what you need for the
Yep,
farmers.
yep. Right.
That sounds really great. Yeah, and don't want to get into the weeds about it, but all right, no, I won't. Yeah, the ARP.
Don't even ask me.
Yeah, don't ask. Let's talk about the snow down first.
it's almost
Yeah.
snowed
Let's talk about the snow down.
Snow down. Well, first, we definitely need ice in order to have that snow down there. So,
The skating rink. part,
yeah,
right?
the skating rink, we really need
Snow and
ice.
cold weather.
But other than that, we have another meeting planned for tomorrow. Things are getting set up. I still wish we had some type of demo or an exhibit or something that was gonna come down, but we'll see. But like Randy said, the manpower, I'm still looking for people to help put up those canopies, set up the benches, the tables, because last year it was Jane and I, and a lot of that wasn't like the canopies, we just couldn't do on our own, so
So they didn't get put up.
they didn't get put up. So hopefully this year they will.
Mhm.
But other than that, if anybody's interested, I do have a meeting tomorrow at 10 and we're doing it by Zoom. So,
And she sent out the link.
yep,
already.
so. Well, go ahead.
You know what I did see for an activity for one of those snow festivals? I sent it to town manager and I think to Jane. Yeah, and it's a human dog sled race. And put
That's human dogs.
human dog sled race. And what you do is you put someone on, one of those tubes. And then you have a 5-man team and you race down 100 yards and race
That's
back
actually
100
pretty good.
yards.
Oh, that would be great
And-
there on the record.
Yeah, yeah,
The road.
you could do it. Yeah,
We change up to one.
but maybe we'll make it 50 yards for that. But anyway, they did it at the Salisbury Jump Fest in Salisbury, Connecticut. And you could see that the people watching got a pretty big kick out of it too. you
It
know.
was kind of like the bed race they do in Bar Harbor.
Yes.
Summer, it just
Yeah.
get a lot of people to just come to watch.
Yeah.
Collision.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
All right, well,
anyway.
Jane, you've got that information.
You sent it in Messenger. I have.
Oh, okay.
You'd have to get, yeah, advertise on how to.
And then it
people
would be
sign
kind
up
of
for
neat to get
teams.
maybe some town officials or some,
Yeah,
department heads.
That's right,
to be-
counselors.
You know what I mean? Yeah, town counselors, to.
us against them.
Yeah.
To serve hot coffee, hot cottage,
Mhm.
sure. Come on. Oh, shoot. So I really appreciate Robin taking that on and chairing that for us and.
Yeah,
working
like
through
I said,
that.
and hopefully we're gonna have the ice.
Yeah, and snow, yeah.
And snow, yeah. So,
So, yeah, so that's why we have the meeting tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
Mhm,
We'll see how that rounds out. All right.
Jane, did
And-
you bring the magnets? Did you bring
Yeah,
the?
the magnets are on the table. Yeah, so those people in the room are able to have to go home with a magnet,
Wave your
a
magnet.
resource magnet that we worked on.
I put the extra up on, like, other than these 8 or so, they're up on your desk. So.
Because you're counting.
Right.
And it was 250 instead of 100, so she was happy that
That's
we were
great.
able to get more.
250 minus 8.
Or like, yeah, well, I
Running
might grab
count.
another.
Tom, do you want some extra to give out when you deliver sand buckets or?
Well, that was my question. So where are these gonna be available?
How are we gonna do this?
It's up
'Cause
to
I'm
you and
already
Jane.
thinking about
I'm
places
thinking
I
you
can-
should,
Yeah.
you should take a,
I can put them.
you should take a
Yeah.
package.
We could distribute them with our
Yeah.
Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
For the
That'd be
people.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very good.
That's a good idea.
there's a lot of places like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We do that quite often where somebody will ask us to put a flyer in with the meals and
Yeah.
we'll send them.
And you
out.
still do, you still do a few meals at the congregate side of Stearns, right?
Correct, yeah, we don't have a great turnout for it yet, but we're hoping to grow that.
Yeah.
So,
We'll have to have like a meeting there and have lunch there. Yeah, we'll have one of our task force meetings there.
Done that
We've
before.
Yeah,
done that
we have.
before, yeah, the in-person meeting or something. Yeah. going forward,
Yeah,
we'll have to figure that
absolutely.
out.
Lunch, everybody counts, so.
I know.
If you feed them, they will
Yeah,
come.
we'll have to figure that out. So, do you want to talk about, so AARP does have volunteer liability insurance new this year. I'm just learning about it and I know
Yes.
Sarah's just learning about it and I shared the application, but I think those of us that are involved will get, involved in the upcoming snow down. I think that we should fill them out and we'll figure going forward, whenever we have any other programs that are specific that come out of
Right.
this,
And so no cost to the person. If you're an age-friendly community and you're volunteering for an AARP age-friendly event,
comes out of this committee.
right, that comes under the age-friendly committee, the official committee work. So that's what I know about it so far.
So stay tuned.
So stay tuned, read your form.
Yeah.
And like you said, I think it does not tend to cover, it's not covering driving services,
Right.
unfortunately. But and it is pretty specific. If you were to be hurt, say in a handy helper situation, when we get to that point of having that program. Any contact between a volunteer and participant in the program that takes inside the private home,
Does not cover it.
right, are covered with, that's an exception. So you wouldn't, if you slipped on their steps going in, covered.
Well, you still
In their
have
house, something happens, not covered. So,
Oh,
it's
so we'll put you inside before we.
right. So I'm gonna say, Tom. I'll say. Come out, we're gonna talk outside. I don't, yeah, so it's a little, I say a little, it's a benefit, obviously, for people, who want to volunteer, who would afford some protections. I think that's a good thing.
So I'll learn more about it and understand it, because I know in general, when we've ever had these conversations, Maine's Good Samaritan laws really cover
Right,
us as
right.
volunteers and the work that we
Yeah,
done, that
yeah.
we do, so.
And the application is very straightforward. Just your basic information that it wants to know. And what kinds of things are you good at volunteering or would you like to do? We find people who are volunteers stay more engaged and stick with their volunteer position longer. If it's something that they feel makes a difference and it's not just busy work per se. I mean, there are all these things that need to be done that are busy work, but I think it's great to try to match volunteers with their forte if we can.
So as of right now, we're the volunteers.
We are,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing up and being here. Other, we have time for other partner updates? Anything to?
Well, Eastern area, we are kicking off the our opportunity for our caregiver support group, people that have dementia. Their caregivers can participate in the Brewer group via Zoom starting Thursday. So this Thursday, we've helped a couple of participants get Zoom set up on their computers so that they can participate at home. Because they're not able to take their loved one out any longer to come to the library to do an in-person visit. So we felt like it was important. They still had some supports, and Megan Millard, who's the Eastern area facilitator for the Brewer group, and also the group here, said, yes, we can. I asked her, can we meld those together? So it's giving the people here an opportunity if they're not able to get out, which, you know, I was telling Andrew, in our static thinking, sometimes we think, yeah, we've got a program set up and we're all set. We've got music upstairs for the care, you know, the loved ones. But dementia progresses on, you know, through these, even these months, they're not able to come anymore, you know, they're just not able to sit. And so we had to pivot and say, well, we won't offer the music right now. What can we do to ensure that the caregivers are getting some support? So our new answer was Zoom.
Zoom, because there's no respite for these people around here, unfortunately, or they
Right.
don't have respite and they don't know who to contact for it.
Right.
So makes it tough.
Right, and so I feel like at least it's a good friendly face that they recognize, someone to connect with, and just an opportunity to get some support and to share about their week.
So is it both, is it hybrid? Is it by Zoom and here in the room still, or
Well,
just the Zoom?
We will offer it in the room for 2 more months. I think Megan, her supervisor, had asked her to have a certain time period to come up and offer the group in person. So she will come for January, February. And then, but we're offering Zoom at a separate time. So 3rd Thursday is Zoom. Our 4th Wednesday as usual here in the library for the next 2 months. We just don't want to miss anyone who might be, you know, on the fence about coming, and we'll offer that for 2 more months. But Zoom will be strictly, you know,
And if by
computer
chance
call.
the in-person takes off, then
Right,
maybe we stay in that route. I mean, the
Right.
first meeting, it looked like things were gonna go great. We had like 8 people there.
yeah,
It's just slowly dwindled down.
yeah. And I think some of it, like I said, has been changes of people's health condition, other,
Yeah.
I'm not sure too, and maybe Andrew, you can clarify what you thought, but it seems like some of the participants, they're wanting information about dementia, what to expect, because their loved one just got a diagnosis and it's all new to them, and it's early stages when we have other people in the group who are fairly
Very
end
progressive.
staged.
Yeah.
And so some of the folks with the early onsets felt, do I fit here? That was my perception,
Yeah.
you know,
It was kind of a misconception of what the support group was. The support group's more to let them come in and talk to each other. We kind of sit and move the conversation on if we need to, but
Mhm.
as facilitators, it was more for them to talk to each other.
Mhm.
And that really, it happened the first couple of meetings, and then again, it kind of dwindled down again.
yeah,
So.
yeah. Well, and there's no accounting why
Yeah.
people come and don't come, you know. Some weeks it was just cruddy weather.
Right.
And they didn't want to take their loved one out in the pouring rain, you know. So,
Okay, so it'd be kind of you're flexing with what,
Yes,
for the
If it
situation.
was a
Right,
great word.
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I felt like it was just important
Yeah.
to offer something. We
Yeah.
know, we see
Yeah.
you're there, we see the hard work you're doing. And
Good.
here's an opportunity. So,
And so remind us that Eastern area, your meals on your program and when you're.
Yeah, so we have the cafe going on Tuesday and Wednesdays
Tuesday,
from. Trying to remember the hours now, because I'm not there that often anymore, I'm on the road every day, but. 10:30 till noon, meal is served a little after 11, and, if somebody wants to go, they just need to call a day in advance, to Nancy.
Make a
Make a
reservation.
reservation, yep, and then just show up, and it's by donation only.
Mhm.
Anyone that shows up will not be denied a meal. Yeah, donation only, so
Wonderful.
come and have a
Yep.
hot warm meal and,
they're good meals.
yeah.
Yeah,
sit
and
in
is the
dining
meal
room.
posted somewhere? It used to be in the newspaper, whatever, so you knew what the meal.
I have
was.
it on the radio station right now, we're making a big push for our marketing,
Okay,
and I'm actually in the middle of that right now as
Okay.
well. So, we are gonna be getting flyers out around this area for that as well, so.
Or
We're
even
just-
post it on our Facebook page.
Yeah,
Drive,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm
that
just
might be
trying to
something
get our person that does all of the social media to, prod them along, but they have like 8 million irons in that fire right now,
Okay.
so the cafe is kind of the least of their worries with everything else that
Yeah.
they have going on, but they're also our grant writer and
sure.
senior expo planner and all of that good stuff. So yeah, we have a lot going on right now.
Very good.
Oh,
Anything else?
yeah,
Yeah.
I actually have two things, or at least
good.
tangentially related. So right before, next Wednesday's caregivers group, there will be, a representative from, Disability Rights of Maine, right?
Yes.
Right?
Mhm.
And she is doing a presentation, her second presentation on hearing loss, resources for hearing loss. And this is open to anyone who is dealing with hearing loss. You do not have to be of a certain age. Or if you have a loved one dealing with hearing loss, it's to kind of give an overview of resources available, different devices available.
yes.
Is that right?
Mhm.
Yes,
Okay.
and I know that the last one you said was really informative.
It was, Deborah is a hearing impaired individual, and she's just such an expert, and a lady she works with, Lisa Penny, they have so much information to give about programming, low cost hearing devices for people, grant funded hearing devices, things like can't remember what they call them, talkers of some type, where if I went to a medical appointment and I'm not hearing well, I can just, it's basically a recording device, and then it does
Like closed captioning.
closed captioning on it
Wow.
for me if I'm looking at it, so I can understand what my doctor's saying.
Wow.
Those kinds of things for where you can get them for either low cost, no cost, and so lots of good information, not just about big things like that, but about types of hearing loss. The problem it can cause in relationships, there's just so much to hearing loss and how it impacts our lives. So I think they're both great.
And that's in person here. Okay.
Well, yes, she's not in person, but the
Meet.
program.
We'll
is
meet,
here
the program will be
on
here
Saturday.
live, and she's on Zoom screen for us. So we'll have that coming up as well. And
Did you
then
have-
we're hoping in the spring, she has a friend who's an audiologist who would like to come and give some hearing screenings. So once the weather's better, she felt like they could come in person and do a hearing screening with an audiologist. Just basic, you may need to have further look into your hearing loss. That type of thing. So
Okay.
something to plan for the future.
And, so next Wednesday is like a really busy day for us.
Yes,
Because then in the evening, we had another program, with a man named Colin McCullough. He is from Southern Maine. He is a certified home inspector, and what his program is how to save on home heating. Not just tips and tricks to like insulate or make your house a little more airtight, but also he's gonna be talking about the funding available through Efficiency Maine, and also some funding that's gonna be coming up with the infrastructure bill. I'm not sure the name of that bill. And I guess there will be funding that will be released, and he has information on how people can access that as well. To do everything from get heat pumps or to insulate or I think he does some stuff on air conditioning. It's I heard about it from another library. They said it was really great. And so I'm really hopeful that we have a good turnout and people get a lot of good information from this. So.
Yes.
So will any of that be recorded to be able to watch? You have to be in
I
person.
think Colin, because he does this at different places, I think he does not record it. He is going to be also on Zoom.
Okay,
So he, as far as I know, he does not do it. He does not allow recordings.
got it.
So that one is not going to be available, but he has like a presence, I believe, on YouTube. So he may have some of it already on there. And I can get you flyers. I know I've been really bad about getting flyers.
Then I can afford to go on, but yes, yeah. Yeah, and I was thinking when you're just talking about some of your healthcare ones, if I could get it, I could share it at the hospital to employees and stuff. And like, some of those are
Yes.
gonna get better at, just
Right,
sharing more
right,
broadly
right.
and stuff.
That's
So
great, yeah.
there's a lot going on.
And then NDEC, I told her that I thought you could give the data on NDEC, but
Yeah.
you know.
I did, so I did update it, but I think this was the older version that was shown. But I think I didn't count them, I just did like in my head, month by month. We had 40 programs last year through NDEC, and I mean, we covered everything from Mac basics.
Say what
to-
NDEC is for
Oh,
our
okay,
listeners.
sorry. National Digital Equity Center, it's a main nonprofit that provides free, really good intensive classes on everything from basics, computer basics to, I mean, I learned how to do our WordPress for the library because I had no idea. I'd never worked with WordPress before, and I took their classes and I really felt like I got a lot out of them. And that's just me. I know that we have a lot of our patrons who they come to these classes, some come more than once because the classes themselves have so much information in them. And they are small size classes. So whether you're taking them through the library and they also offer them online through Zoom, they are always capped at about 10 people. So you're really able to interact with the instructor. The instructors are super knowledgeable. They are really willing to go out there and like answer questions. If they don't know, they'll come back the next, at the next class and they'll have like researched it to find out for you. They're really great. So,
Right.
and so those are ongoing. I still plan on doing 2 full classes a month here at the library. I have them scheduled out through March now, but if anyone is
Chicken.
like wondering about classes, I'm kind of looking at April and I'm just like, I don't know what people want.
Jake, I'll come.
So, yeah.
No problem.
Intermediate,
Intermediate.
the next level.
Yes.
Yeah.
intermediate.
I know Robin's taken some of the classes and
Yeah,
it's
love
enjoyed
them,
them, I've
yeah.
heard, so.
You might try to offer a fly tying class.
I did ask them, I bet some of the instructors do know fly tying, just I've interacted with them so much over the past year and a half. But I don't know if they'll do it through NDEC.
Super smart, yeah, super smart people, yeah.
Any other, I'm just looking at the clock, you guys to keep it on
Next.
schedule.
Next Tuesday night, we have the town of Millinocket and the fire department in association with
Savita Health.
Vita.
Savita.
They got a grant around education for drug and alcohol. So we're actually starting a Millinocket Fire and Rescue will be doing a thing. We don't really know how we're looking at different ideas of packaging and things that we would be passing out with Narcan. We'll be able to do Narcan through Bangor Health. So next Tuesday night, we're having a spaghetti supper at the Nazarene Church. It's a donation type thing, and we're gonna have 4 or 5 speakers there. They will have a table there as well as peer-to-peer. Heidi's
Regular cycle.
is gonna have something there. What we're trying to do is just reach out to the community. Especially for people that are looking for help, looking either for themselves or family members that, where can we get some help for a family member? So we've got a couple of speakers that, and it's gonna be real short, real informal. We'll just talk about their story and what they did. I talked the other day, the Augusta Church of Nazarene did it down there. And said it went over very, very well, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna highlight what we have for local resources. So
To
it's
try
gonna
to
be
get
very
something
good.
out there.
Yeah. So next Tuesday, right?
Next Tuesday at 6 o'clock at the Nazarene
New
Church.
Louis, you got anything? You good?
I'm good,
Randy,
getting the dates in.
you getting the dates in, so I can
6 o'clock.
Oh,
Not like-
when is the Snowfest?
It's
19.
February?
February 19th, but the 17th is the snowmobile parade. Then there's something going on Saturday, Finn and Feather Club.
And the-
Sunday will be the
Traditional.
snow down.
It's on that
The
agenda,
19th.
Randy, that you have there. It does say.
Oh, it is?
Snow down.
Sorry.
the
Snow
19th. That's
down.
okay.
Oh, okay,
But it
okay,
starts on
okay,
Friday
I'm sorry,
night,
yeah,
Winterfest
yeah.
is.
okay.
Right, so because of the snow down, I figured we wouldn't have a February meeting. Participate in the snow down because that's happening that Sunday, and typically the way our meeting would fall would be that Tuesday. So I took the liberty of saying, no meeting in February. However, we just heard that we do need 2 or 3 task force set up. So it doesn't mean we might not get together. If I reach out to you and do you want to, be on the transportation task force or the handy helper, or to get something started off with the friendly calls and that sort of thing. So, but not this particular one. I did see that Effie sent out like M dash for February 16th, and we got, I don't know if everybody was on the email that Larry's going on to do something different. So I think between Effie and Jess, we'll figure that out. So, yeah, so we'll stay connected via email and seeing each other at all our meetings. We're so many different hats. So if there's any, look up on the screen. Yes, Barbara.
Early in your chart, you mentioned community center any action regarding support for getting that going, community. I don't know if you, I'm interested anyway, if anybody for next meeting or how you want to talk about it.
As we go forward, yes, so that was in the beginning part of that's ongoing. There's some initial conversations that's sort of brewing. Yeah, I don't have an update to give on that, but
Okay.
I will remember that you're interested in that.
Okay,
If we
great.
go forward on that. Thank you. Anybody else on Zoom? Anything last minute things to chime in, and you all good?
I'm good.
See?
Thanks, Jane.
Thank you, Bob. Thanks for joining us while you're on the road. Well, seeing none, right? We will adjourn.
Way to
Yeah.
go.
Very good. Yeah, like I'm trying really hard to keep us within our time frame.
And thank you, everybody, for all the work. I think we should be proud of all the things that have been done, so.
There's a lot, like I know, yeah,
Right.
please take time to read this over. Like I said, it's
Yes.
draft. I'm gonna
Yes.
like finesse it, whatnot, before I put it on the website as far as post it and
Wonderful.
share it, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll
I
see you
captured
tomorrow at
a
our
lot of
meeting.
the work that you guys are doing. Thank you so much.
See you at the snow down and then we'll meet after.
We'll be in touch. All right, meeting adjourned.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.